Very good morning to all my dear students. Welcome to St. Dungeons Public School, Bagpat. Online economics classes part 7, class 11th commerce. As you know that we are working from our home. So my dear student, today we will discuss chapter number 2, Consumers Equilibrium, which is from Microeconomics book. As you know that in my previous video we have already discussed what is the mean relationship, what is the relationship between total utility and marginal utility. But today we will discuss law of diminishing marginal utility, which was given by H.H. Gaussian. See here, law of diminishing marginal utility. Today we will discuss. See, law of diminishing marginal utility states that as we consume more and more units of a commodity. See, this line is most important. As we consume more and more units of a commodity, the utility means satisfaction, the utility obtained from each additional unit goes on decreasing. This law was given by H.H. Gaussian. It is also called fundamental law of satisfaction or fundamental of psychological law. It means that we can say that this law is also known as fundamental law of satisfaction, or we can say fundamental of psychological law. See, what does it mean? Law of diminishing marginal utility states that as we consume more and more units of a commodity, you know that satisfaction of first unit of ice cream will be greater than the second will be greater than satisfaction of second unit of ice cream. Again I am repeating, you know that satisfaction of first unit of ice cream will be greater than satisfaction of second unit of ice cream, and satisfaction of second unit of ice cream will be greater than satisfaction of third unit of ice cream. It means that on behalf of this statement we can say that, what does it mean? It means that as we consume more and more units of a commodity, it means that as we consume more and more units of a ice cream, the utility means satisfaction obtained from each additional unit goes on decreasing. I can say this statement in this language. Listen carefully. As we consume more and more units of a ice cream, the satisfaction obtained from each additional unit of ice cream goes on decreasing. I hope this statement is clear. But see, we know that as we consume more and more units of a commodity, the utility, or we can say additional satisfaction, the utility obtained from each additional unit will be considered as marginal utility, because you know the meaning of marginal utility. What is the meaning of marginal utility? Marginal utility refers to an additional satisfaction obtained from the consumption of one more unit of a commodity. It means that the utility obtained from each additional unit, it means that the satisfaction obtained from each additional unit will be considered as marginal utility. In some simple terms we can say that as we consume more and more units of a commodity, the additional satisfaction means marginal utility goes on decreasing. I hope this is clear. And remember, this law was given by H.H. Gaussian. But after this, to hold this law, or we can say to exist this law, we are going to study assumptions of this law, or we can say what should be the assumptions to hold it, or we can say to exist this law. See, assumptions of law of diminishing marginal utility. First assumption is cardinal, means numerical. or we can say quantitative. Cardinal means quantitative, or we can say numerical measurement of utility. It means that we should measure utility in terms of number. I hope it is clear. It means we should measure satisfaction in terms of numerical, in terms of, or we can say in numerical terms, Second assumption, monetary measurement of utility. It means that we should measure satisfaction in monetary terms. Monetary means money term. It means that utility should be measured. It means that satisfaction should be measured. Satisfaction should be measured in money forms, or we can say in money, or in money terms, or we can say monetary terms. Monetary means money. I hope it is clear. According to this assumption, utility, or we can say satisfaction, should be measured in monetary terms, or we can say in money terms. See, third assumption, consumption of reasonable quantity. What does it mean? Or we can say consumption of reasonable quantity of a commodity. What does it mean? Let's take an example to understand. For example, we should take consumption of glassfuls of water, and not of spoonfuls, because if we want to hold this true hold this law, if we show, it means that if we want to show or we can say if we want to show this law, means as we consume more and more units of a commodity, satisfaction goes on decreasing. It means that, for example, we should take consumption of glassfuls of water, not of spoonfuls, because glassfuls of water means proper quantity, and spoonfuls means not proper quantity. It means that we should take sufficient quantity of a commodity, to hold it. See, next assumption, the process of continuous consumption should be taken by a consumer. It means that consumption process should be continuous. Consumption process should be continuous means consumption process should be regular, or we can say should be in a regular way. It means the process of consumption should not be irregular way, in a irregular way. Means the process of continuous consumption should be taken by consumer. If suppose if I am saying, if a consumer is consuming goods and services on regular basis, again I am saying a consumer is consuming goods and services on regular basis, it means this law will exist. But if I am saying, if a consumer is not consuming goods and services on regular basis, it means that this law will not exist. I hope it is clear. Means to hold this law, we can say consumption should be continuous. See, fifth assumption, consumer should be rational. Who measures? Rational consumer means who aim, or we can say rational consumer refers to that person, and we can say rational consumer refers to that consumer who measures, calculate and compare the utilities of different commodities and aims to maximize the satisfaction. This line is most important. Aims to maximize the satisfaction. Suppose if I am saying aim of consumer is to maximize satisfaction. It means that consumer will be called rational consumer. If aim of consumer is not to maximize his satisfaction, it means that consumer will not be called rational consumer. Means who is a rational consumer? Aims to maximize his satisfaction. Who aims to maximize satisfaction? Who aims to maximize satisfaction? Always remember, who is rational consumer? Rational consumer is a consumer who aims to maximize his satisfaction. See, point number 6, quality of the commodity. Quality of the commodity is consumed should not be changed. Should not be changed. It means that suppose if you are doing consumption, or you can say suppose a consumer is consuming, suppose a consumer is consuming chocolate of 5 star, chocolate of 5 star company, chocolate of, or we can say chocolate of 5 star company. It means that quality should not be changed. Quality should not be changed. Quality should not be changed means consumer is consuming goods and service, or we can say consumer is consuming goods, then quality should not be changed. If quality will change, then this law will also change. To hold this law in a constant way, it means that quality should not be changed. See assumption number 7. Assumption number 7. Income of the consumer and price of the good remain same. It means that we assumes that in this law we assumes that income of the consumer and price of the good remain constant. Income of the consumer and price of the good remain same. Suppose income of consumer changes, or we can say consumer income changes, then, or we can say price of the good changes. Price of the good changes. It means that this law will also change. This law will also change. It means that to constant this law, or we can say to hold this law, we assume that income of the consumer and price of the good remain same. After this, assumption number 8. Assumption number 8. See, it is also assumed that one person's utility is not affected by the utility of any other person. It means that satisfaction of one person should not be dependent on the satisfaction of other person. What does it mean? It means that satisfaction of one person should not be dependent on the satisfaction of other person. Should not be dependent on the satisfaction